After going north of the border to Canada for the last episode, let's trade that winter hat and gloves for some boots and a cowboy hat, cause we going to Texas, y'all. That's right, baby. We're headed south to hear from Keelyn and Allison McInroe, the owners of Knitted and Known, the best pro-life bamboo pajama company around. And as all Texans do, they put their money where their mouth is by donating 10% of all proceeds to pro-life pregnancy resource centers to help moms and babies. Oh yeah, they feel that every life is worth fighting for. When it comes time to talk about what is up, Keelyn and Allison are convinced that for many of us, comfort and convenience have become our god. Oh boy.
Welcome to the rodeo, folks.
Here's your host, the biggest, baddest sheriff in town, Bubba Saban.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. What is up? Welcome back for another episode of the best small town, real life, fastest growing podcast on the market. Remember when I said we have some big things lined up for this year? Yeah, this is going to be another one of those episodes, okay? But before we get to our special guests, I got to remind everybody, whether you're listening or watching, that's right, you can watch us in stunning high definition. Wave to the audience, guys. Let them know where you're at. There you go. All the way from Lubbock, Texas. Look at that. Beautiful. Before we get to it, don't forget to subscribe, follow, like, share, all that good stuff, wherever you're listening or watching. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube. Leave us that 5-star rating. If you're on YouTube, I think it's a thumbs up. Hit that thumbs up button for me. Click that little bell to be notified about every new episode. Tell me what you think. Like or dislike. Doesn't matter to me by leaving a comment. That is how we continue to grow and reach more and more people. And our numbers just keep going up. So we don't want to stop that trend. We want to keep it going. Follow our Instagram and our Facebook. You want to see those reels? I've learned you got to do more reels. If you want to reach people, you got to put reels out there. So we're doing reels all the time. We're doing merch giveaways every so often. Share with your friends on your social media. That would help us a lot. You want to revamp your wardrobe by adding some What Is Up merch to your closet? You probably can't see it, but yeah, the nice What Is Up hooded sweatshirt right here. It's a nice one. Just email me, whatisuppodcast@gmail.com, and tell us what you want. My wife will hook you up. Then send us a picture of yourself wearing our merch. And if you ever see anyone else out and about wearing our merch, grab a picture of them too and send it to me. You might just win yourself a free prize. Who knows? And here comes the ad read that I do for my friends. You guys heard the deal before, right? I want to give a shout out and encourage all my listeners to go check out the Steve Brown Art Center, which is the creative heart of Buchanan County. It is the thriving community where art flourishes. With dynamic exhibits and interactive workshops, they spark creativity and passion. Discover a world of artistic inspiration at the Steve Brown Art Center. That was written by Jim Gillespie himself. He did so good with that. To learn more about the Steve Brown Art Center, just head over to their Facebook page and check out what they're all about. Now, once you've done all that, now you're ready to sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. And let me tell you, we got a good one for you today. Like I said, today's guest, we're recording over Zoom. They're all the way down in Texas. From the moment of their daughter's first cry, their lives were changed. And they wanted to do more for the world. And thus, Knitted and Known began out of the belief of the infinite value of human life. They are fully committed to being a blessing to little ones in need all across the country. In their walk with the Lord, they realize just how much God has blessed their lives. Blessed with a daughter and a son, it is their lives that have cemented their views that every child is precious. That's why they decided to be a blessing to others. So they devoted their work to the Lord and realized the lack of pro-life bamboo pajama companies in the marketplace. And they are here to fill that void while also bringing comfortable, soothing bamboo pajamas to you and me. And may God be glorified in the work that they do. So allow me to introduce our very special guest, owners of Knitted and Known, the pro-life bamboo pajama company, Keelyn and Allison McInroe. What is up, guys?
What is up? That's quite the monologue. That was great.
Well, I try and make them somewhat special. Your guys' was kind of easy. I just took a lot from your website. That was it.
Yeah.
Well, it's everything. So on our
I
website.
yeah, I enjoy the writing aspect of things.
Yeah, good.
Look, that's a teaser for later.
All right. All right. There we go. I like it. I like it. Okay. So I first noticed you guys because I think if I got it right, you guys bought another pro-life pajama company, Heavenly
That is correct.
Sleeps. Okay. And they at some point had found us and followed us. I didn't know who they were or anything. And I was like, oh, okay. I kind of see what they're about now. And then you guys jump in and kind of acquire them. And what was the deal? Did they want to just step away from the market and focus on other things?
Yeah, she had her fourth kid and had a job, and
Okay.
it became too much for her. So, well, not too much. She just wanted to focus on other,
Yeah.
being a
There you
mom.
go.
You know what I mean? Like, so
Okay.
She's super nice.
She's so nice.
She's up in Wisconsin, and you can tell she's got that accent, and
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
super
sure.
special.
which I'm sure we do. We
Yeah,
might
yeah.
sound like Texans. So
Look,
But-
I'm from Slidell, Louisiana, and when I first moved up here, everyone said they couldn't even understand me. So
Really?
I can decipher accents pretty well. That makes sense. They're in Wisconsin, so they were, that's more my region, in Iowa, so they probably the algorithm probably threw my stuff towards them
Oh, right. Yeah.
based on their likes and things. Okay. I got it. So you guys didn't force them out of the market. That's
No.
okay. I like
And
that.
actually, so this is a little bit of a testimony. So it was a Christmas miracle. We were just sitting around Christmas Day last year, and we're like, "Oh, woe is us." No, I'm just kidding. No, we're like, "Man, we need some new prints." And actually, we were having a really hard time getting new prints. And when I say that, just a new design out.
Okay.
We were having a hard time figuring out what manufacturer to go with. Lots of roadblocks were just in our way. We're like, man, what is going on? Why can we not get something going? And we needed to get something soon. We knew the inauguration was coming up, and we were trying to capitalize on that.
Okay.
Well, anyways, Christmas Day rolls around, and she messages us. I was like, hey,
you want to buy all my inventory?
do you want to buy
Yes.
every single thing that
Yes,
I
we do.
have? We're like, yes,
Wow.
we do.
And then the doors just opened, and we were able to
Doors
get it.
opened. Finances fell where they needed to, and it's just really cool. One more thing to say about this: when she first started, we actually knew about her through
A conservative women's
oh
group
yeah,
on
a
Facebook.
conservative women's group. Well, anyways, we were kind of like, oh man, she's doing the exact same thing we're doing.
Like to the T, like pregnancy centers and everything. Like it was crazy.
Okay.
But how amazing is it that God gave us both that idea at the exact same time? Like, I don't know. It's just neat. So.
Yeah, that is when people see that you had a need, she had a direction to go, and that just merged perfectly.
Yeah.
It was fantastic.
That is awesome.
That is good.
I would assume, yeah, absolutely. I would assume, the jig is up. People kind of get this episode is going to be kind of a pro-life episode, but give us a chance to just tell you why and get to know Keelyn and Allison. You guys have heard me talk plenty, I'm sure, but we probably have very similar interests when it comes to the pro-life cause, so I like to remind my audience, there's all kinds of things that I'm into, that we're probably into, and some of it is like you guys are providing a product for people. Everyone needs pajamas for their little ones, right? So if you're a Christian and you're going to have needs for little kids, pajamas, why not support a Christian-owned company that's going to do things and kick back to the pro-life cause, like you guys? Like I told my audience, 7 Weeks Coffee. That's my coffee subscription. It's very good. They give back 10% to pro-life pregnancy resource centers. Every Life Diaper Company, they say that's the only 100% pro-life diaper company on the market. All the other big names, they all support other things that go against, you know what I mean? Makes no sense.
Yeah.
Not Every Life, other organizations like Preborn or Option Ultrasound with Focus on the Family, Live Action, Lila Rose, they do amazing stuff on educating people about a baby is not a clump of cells, things like that. They try and actually just educate people on what abortion actually is and why we should stand against it. Abby Johnson, she's one of my big favorites because she was in there. She was on the abortion side and she got out of it. So I know my audience has probably heard me mention a lot of these things before and stuff like that, but maybe you haven't heard of preborn. And no, this isn't an attack on anybody. This isn't. If you happen to be pro-choice and you're listening, like, we want you to listen. None of us three hate you. That's not how the Christian faith works. Okay, it doesn't. If you disagree with that, this is a place for conversation. You can tell by one of our last few episodes ago, we had a debate over universal basic income. I'm not a fan, but those guys sat in my basement. We had a nice conversation, and you can just talk about these things. Preborn is this awesome organization, and they do exactly what I would want to do. If mothers are struggling, if they're considering abortion for any reason, Preborn is going to take all their resources. They're going to show the mom the baby so that they know it's a baby. It's developing. It's an amazing life. It's just very, very young. That's all. And then they're going to provide all kinds of support. They're not just going to say, keep it, deal with the baby, you can do this. They're going to say, we're going to help you with all kinds of assistance, parenting classes, financial assistance, prenatal care, counseling, whatever you need. They're going to try and stand by the moms. And I think that's probably us three. That's our goal. Take care of mom and baby. You can do both. You really can. Okay. So why don't you guys just tell my audience a little bit about yourselves, who you are, what you do, all that good stuff, kind of short answer for them.
Yeah. Well, I'll be chivalrous and let my wife.
Oh, you're going to let me
Oh,
take
there,
it?
she didn't want that.
No. Okay, I'll be chivalrous and take it. All
There you
go. My name's Keelyn McInroe. I am 28, and this is my wife, Allison. I have 2 kids. Career, I'm actually in between jobs right now, kind of related to
Our conversation right now.
talking out about abortion.
Okay.
So really interesting situation there. I think God can still be glorified through that. I know he can. Hobbies, I am an avid gardener.
Okay.
Now, am I good at it? I don't think.
He's good at it.
I'm okay. I'm not like really good at it, but I enjoy gardening. I play some video games. I work out. I hang out with my kids. I read a little bit.
Okay.
I'm passionate about the pro-life movement. I'm passionate about business.
Okay.
And just getting out of debt. Dave Ramsey fan.
All
I'm
right.
Dave-ish.
We're Davish.
Dave-ish, yeah. But
Okay.
yeah, that's me mostly. Wait. And I'm a Christian. That should have been
Well,
that should have been number one.
You saved the best for last.
Yeah. No, I think the audience gets that by now.
And I'm a nurse. Sorry.
Okay.
I'm throwing it out there. I'm a nurse. Work a couple days a week. More while he's in between jobs. He does have a job lined up. He's about to start. He's very good computer guy. So.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we have chickens. You forgot that part. That's huge. We have chickens. We love having chickens. So.
I think I've seen that on some of the videos and
Yeah.
social media. Okay.
They make appearances every once in a while, and we're really involved in our local congregation. So.
Oh, absolutely.
It's a huge part of our life. So.
Good deal. Very good. Okay. So go ahead and let's just before we get into any, deeper discussion, just go ahead and plug the business right here. Tell us what it is, what you do, what you offer, and what you both bring to the table when it comes to Knitted and Known.
Sure.
You can take that.
Yeah. So I'm kind of the front-facing or customer-facing person for the most part. So I've got all my spiels ready to go.
Okay.
But Knitted and Known is a pro-life bamboo pajama company, and we donate 10% of all sales to. It used to be Preborn.
Okay.
But we are shifting that focus. Preborn is kind of a national chain,
Mm-hmm.
and we are focusing more on our local community. So we are shifting that towards really right now. It's going to be the nurturing center here in Lubbock, Texas. So
we do all the same things as Preborn.
All the same things as Preborn, just in a local capacity. We believe that we'll be able to help out more locally, but we make the smoothest, most buttery soft bamboo pajamas you've ever felt in your life. I used to be, this may be TMI. I used to not sleep in pajamas. Okay.
No, he can't not.
Now I can't not sleep in pajamas. I love them. They are amazing. Bubba, we'll send you some. Okay.
Well, I mean, I'm going to buy some because my wife and I were talking about that today. She said, okay, maybe, because I've got episodes stacked in front of your guys, we're going to go ahead and order something or whatever, and then maybe do a giveaway because
I love it.
Yes.
my daughter got married. Our oldest kid got married this summer, and her in-laws, everyone is in that baby making stage that my wife and I are out of. So we got plenty of gifts to give, and we're like, yeah, I think we're just going to get some stuff from them, and yeah, we'll review it and we'll put it out there for people. And
Perfect.
awesome. Yeah.
Well, we'll gift you some.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
yeah, they're great.
It started as a t-shirt company in
Yes.
2022.
Okay.
22, and we didn't have the drive for it. We're like, man, we want to spread like the pro-life message, the Christian message, like God loves you. We were all created in God's image.
Yeah.
But like t-shirts, we take it or leave it, and then we had our daughter. I was buying bamboo pajamas all the time.
Like 30 pairs.
Like a lot.
So many pairs.
And we had a little incident with the company we were buying from. And
No, we can talk about that.
We can.
So,
okay, I wasn't sure.
Little Sleepy's was the place we were buying from. And they came out and were like, hey, we support transing the kids.
Or letting kids go to
drag queen story hour. And if
posting all that in there.
And if you're not okay with that, then you can not buy from us. And so we're like, all right,
we're out.
we will not only not buy from you anymore, we will compete with you and offer an alternative for people. Kind of like we think of every life, there's all these Huggies, Loves, Pampers that are kid-oriented businesses that are pro-abortion.
Yeah. It's mind-blowing.
It is.
It's sad. Like you're advocating for the kids, but you're pro-abortion. It's just conflicting.
Or like anti what's good for children at the very least.
So. If that's the market you're in, how are you for all that other stuff? I don't get it. It's hard. I mean, I guess I understand the deeper root of all of it, but
yes.
I don't understand how that could be good financially to support that when you're trying to make money off that same
Yeah.
But but I like this part of the conversation, because even though you say, okay, we won't do business with you, and we're actually going to start something in opposition to you, but you're not saying, I'm going to come to your house and burn it down. I'm not going to. You know what I mean? When you hear about the peaceful protesters, at the abortion clinics, I've seen a lot of footage of a lot of organized prayer protests, and a lot of that stuff, if they're yelling and screaming at women or young girls going in or thinking about having an abortion, that's wrong. And the most of what I see, it's not that way anymore. This stuff is, they want to let them know there's other options. There are people who are willing to come alongside you. And if you got any doubts, we're here to help you. Just don't walk in today. Come over and talk to us. We're not evil people, and we don't wish people that disagree with us. We don't wish, hatred and evil on them. You just want to help them, help the mom and the baby. That's exactly it. Right. So hopefully that comes out today. Well, I think everyone gets that. Yeah, I will absolutely review your product. We'll do a little merch giveaway and hopefully spike those sales a little bit. I don't know. We'll do what we can do, I guess.
Yeah. Hey, we like spiking sales.
Yeah.
Well, now see that it's a two-way road, because now when your episode comes out, I expect to see a spike in my numbers, my views, my social media, and that's going to come from you guys. So,
well, we have 2 Instagram accounts, so we'll shout you out on both.
All right, cool. Okay. Let's just kind of peek behind the curtain a little bit. Let's talk about growing up and stuff like that. So the audience can get to know you guys a little bit better. Go back as far as you want and just kind of tell us a little bit about the earlier days.
Sure.
I'll start.
Okay.
I grew up in Canyon, Texas, super small town, home to the second largest canyon in the nation.
Okay.
Great place to grow up. Highly recommend. From there, moved to Lubbock to go to college.
What part of Texas are we talking here?
The gross part.
They say the people make it great. I'll say, but they say it's West Texas, but it's the Panhandle. So like the top, like where the square part is.
The top. Okay. All right. I got you.
Yeah. So
Because I only know Texas in like football terms, East Texas and West Texas, and West
Oh,
Texas.
yeah.
Call us West.
Yeah, we're
like,
West Texas.
Okay. That's like Odessa, Permian, from Friday Night Lights is West
Yeah.
Texas. And they play
we're
Dallas
North.
Carter. That's East Texas. And
Yeah.
that's all I know.
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty good though.
That's not bad. Yeah.
Do what I can.
You should move to Texas.
I was close. I was close for 13 years. I was the neighbor
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
in Louisiana. But what about you, Keelyn?
Well, my childhood was really pretty great. I had a lot of fun in my childhood. I got to shout out my boys, Ryan and Cody. Dude, those are my guys. They're twins, and I grew up across the street with them. We got into all sorts of trouble. Man, like I almost said something I shouldn't have.
He had the typical like American childhood. I feel like
adventure. You got into some stuff.
Yeah, kickball on the street, riding bikes, going exploring. Me and Ryan, we fought on a trampoline over a bamboo stick, which is kind of ironic actually now. But, yeah, so just really a great time as a child. So those are my boys, Ryan and Cody. So
there's something about playing ball in the street, and when you got to yell car. You get off the street, the car goes by, and you go, those days are gone, but let's bring those back. Let's get kids on the street again playing.
Our street, though, our current street, they yell car.
Yeah.
And then walk back out in front of us.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So, but they play in the street. So
it's good to see that spirit's still alive.
Yeah.
So, their parents kick them out of the house. No phones. That's great.
Yeah.
Oh, that is. Okay. What about like high school, junior high school, those formative teen years, stuff like that? What was it like for you? Band. Oh, Allison's a band girl. Okay. Oh, he was.
Football band.
Okay, hang on.
We both did band. We both did band.
But band. I played tennis for a couple years. It was a lot of fun.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Were you guys the same school?
No.
Okay. So you hadn't met yet.
About what is that? 4 hours? 4 hours from Canyon in a place called Abilene, Texas.
Oh, there you go. That one sounds familiar. Okay.
Yeah. That's where the new AI center is going. That's if you know. No. So Donald Trump just set up like a $500 billion deal to do an AI center, and it's going in Abilene, Texas.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah. Most random place in all of West Texas.
Okay. So does that worry you that one day like the robots are going to hit you guys first?
Right.
No, I mean, that's the way to go. If it's going to be an apocalypse, you want to die quick. Like, come on, man.
Oh, Keelyn's going to have to lead the resistance when the AI becomes self-aware. Just clothe them in some nice, good pajamas, and they'll mellow out. They won't see you as an enemy.
Yeah, exactly.
Be like, wow, this is so soft on our very hard metal exteriors.
Yeah. All right.
In band, I had a really good high school experience. I had some good friends, and I was in band. Had a really good band experience. Was in choir. Really good choir experience. Just all around great time in high school. Given I was not the person I should have been in high school.
Sure.
I think that's true of all of us.
Yeah.
Me for sure. I've owned up to a lot of stuff on air, just so everyone knows. I didn't walk into a church till I was 20 years old. And everyone in that I still go to that same church, and a lot of people there can vouch. They never thought they'd ever see me walk into church because of how I was in high school. So there's nothing wrong with that. That shows the power of God, man.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
That's it. Yeah, don't be embarrassed. That's it. That's our story. That's fine. I mean, how bad was it?
Mom, turn it off if you're watching. No.
I mean, were you guys were raised in Christian homes, but
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I was just like the person that people thought I was. If I could have been that person, I'd have been a rock star. But I was not that person. And
sure.
Yeah, don't make me cry, Bubba. Like, it's just...
Look, I tell my kids all the time, I don't envy you guys. I don't.
Yeah.
I would much rather have my situation, having done my own thing that whole time, And then there was a clear fork in the road at 20 years old, and you could see I surrendered, God changed. Like that is what happens when you really surrender. Growing up in the church, I know it's hard for you guys because you've been around it your whole life. So really all I did is I tried to make it clear, me and my wife, try and make it clear to our kids. Yeah, we're going to get you to church. You're going to grow up in a Christian home. You're going to do all the things that a church does. It's still going to come down to your relationship with Jesus. It's not on us, it's on you. And that relationship, that walk with him, that's going to be 100% up to you, how that grows, and how that, if you want it to be just a little bit, if you want him in the back seat, you will suffer the consequences. You will do things. The world will have its way with you, is kind of what I tell my kids. So just take your pick. And I told them that from a young age. I said, you'll see that in your classmates, in the families around you. You'll see pain and heartache. Life's hard enough as it is, whether you're a Christian or not, but it can be a lot easier if you spare yourselves from all that stuff. And who was it the other day? I think they said it in a Super Bowl commercial. It was a famous actor, and he said there is no instruction manual for life. And I was like, yes, there is. That's the Bible. He tells you everything to stay away from. He tells you why we're going to struggle with the things we struggle, and how to remedy all that stuff. And it's like, yeah, life ain't perfect, but that there is an instruction manual. It was a famous actor. I can't remember which one it was. And I was like, oh man, you missed the mark on that one, whoever it was. Yeah. But
that's true.
Don't be embarrassed by that. That's life. Okay, so when did you guys meet? I'm assuming hopefully college now. Can we move on to college?
Yes, yeah. Okay. After the dark ages. We met first day.
First full day of college, so class hadn't even started yet. It was freshman orientation.
She loved me. I was a looker. Okay.
Oh, look at this.
No, we were auditioning for choir, and Keelyn started making some he was talking about One Direction like he knew a lot about them, and I was like, that's super weird, dude.
The band One Direction?
Yeah, the boy band. And I was like, okay.
Wow, judgment from both of y'all.
Wow.
So
okay, you guys are late 20s. Is that what you said? Okay,
mm-hmm.
that's the difference. I'm 43. So One Direction was no, that was not my time.
Because he's not even a fan. And knowing that now, it makes me laugh. But he was trying to impress me.
Oh.
And I was like, I literally don't care about One Direction.
Okay.
At all.
So true story. When I got to college, I had just gotten over a heartbreak, and I was not looking for anything. And I tell her now, and I truly did think this. I was like, there's no way that I could ever date her. She is way out of my league.
Oh.
So yeah, I thought
nice.
She was pretty cute, but I was like, no way that's happening. And then
we have a mutual friend that was like, you should really go talk to him. He's really cool. And I did. So here we are.
Man, yeah. So if you got a friend that's willing to put two people together because they think they might be a match, you better jump on that, because I don't know. If something happens to my wife, I'm on my own the rest of the time. I didn't have much game back then. I ain't gonna have it now for sure. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, more on the college stuff. We both went to the same college and had a really good time. And
we both grew up the same.
Yeah, same faith. We're both Church of Christ through and through.
Okay.
We actually, so I'll speak to this. If I'm talking too much, just go ahead.
No, go ahead. You're fine.
So one of the most formative things for me, I believe, was when I went to be a counselor at a Christian youth camp. Okay. And the Christian youth camp is called Camp Blue Haven.
Okay.
In Las Vegas, New Mexico. Really great camp. I was, grew up in the church, was a Christian, but I didn't start taking it seriously until then.
Okay. And we were 20.
Yeah, we were 20. And that was like, hey, this stuff is real.
Yep.
This stuff is legit. And not only that, but I can prove it to you. I can prove it to you how this stuff is legit, how Christianity is real. And it's just mind-boggling how Jesus came into my life and showed himself and proved that this is real. And that just kind of solidified it for me.
Yeah.
So thankful for that.
And that's the place where we decided we're like, oh, we're gonna get married. Like we'd been together for a while and
Nice.
agreed on everything that was important, like it. So
yeah. And
we knew that the dating scene was insane. They were starting to become like insane. So
yeah. Oh, that's
and we were happy with each other. So
yeah. We liked each other.
We liked each other okay.
There you go. Yeah. I was listening to Allie-Beth Stuckey. She did a episode of her podcast a couple weeks ago about like Valentine's Day. So she had her husband on, and I never heard her say his real name. And I love Allie. I think she's great. Her podcast is Relatable. If anyone wants to go check that out. And she finally called her husband by his real name, because usually she calls him the Chief Relatable, because relatable. So she's got related gals or her fans or whatever. He's the Chief Relatable. And she said Timothy, and that's my oldest son's name. And it was just weird hearing her talk about how much, dating, what the dating scene was like with Timothy, and how much she loves Timothy. And I was just like, oh, this is kind of weird. And it was getting kind of awkward there for a minute. I was like, okay, this shouldn't be this. And then they were talking about the name of their cat, because I think they dated for like 4 months, and they knew, like, we align on all the Christian issues, family. Like, if you know, what's the point of waiting, dragging it out for years, being tempted to move in with each other and sleep with each other before marriage and all this other stuff that's going to bring pain and heartache. They were like, no, you don't. There's no need for that. You pray about it, and if this is the person God has for you, absolutely go for it. And then they talked about when they first got together, they got a cat, and the cat's name just blew me away. Rachel McAdams. And I'm like, I guess I shouldn't find that funny, but I find it hilarious. I thought it was great. Very, very clever.
I like that you knew that too.
I'm a huge Allie-Beth Stuckey fan. I've listened
man.
to her podcast since the beginning.
Really? Oh man. Yeah,
she's actually my person I'd want to meet, actually.
Okay.
Well, wait a minute.
I'm
Spoil
sorry.
it.
No, that's okay. We'll keep moving. We'll get to it. Yeah, she is great. Okay, so yeah, you're married. Let's talk. When do the kids come? When does what's the job scene like in leading up to present day?
I'll let you do kids. I'll do jobs.
When do we have it, really? 22. Yeah. So we had our first daughter when we were 25.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We had been married for 4 years at that point, which I think was like a good amount of time. We talked about, like, if we had known how awesome being a parent was, like, we would probably have done it sooner.
Yeah.
It's just best. I mean, it's hard, but something about being a mom, and I'm sure being a dad's the same way, just like really sanctifies you and like makes you understand, like, oh, this is what selflessness is, or this is how God feels about me. Like, it's just, I don't know. We always talk about that. We would have started sooner if we had known. And then we had Kendall when we were 28. Casey's almost 1, but so yeah.
See, but you guys were doing things. You were doing college. Like that's what I tell my wife when people look at us and they say, "Oh my gosh, you got a kid that's married already?" I was like, "Yeah." And they're like, "How? You're so young." It's like, we didn't go to college. Like, once you graduate high school, like, if you're not going to college, it's time to settle down, start the family, and what else is there to do? There's nothing else to do. So yeah, we had kids right away at 19 and 20, or got married at 19 and 20 and had kids a couple years later. Like,
oh, that's so good though.
Yeah, that's neat.
Yeah, it was great.
Oh, and then jobs.
Yeah.
So I'm trained as a data analyst, and I am in between jobs right now, but I, praise the Lord, have a job lined up for me starting March 3rd. I will be a software implementation specialist, or consultant rather, just teaching people how to use the software, answering questions on the back end, stuff like that.
Okay.
But Allison's a nurse.
I've been a nurse for 7 years,
Yeah.
which is wild. I can't believe I've been a nurse that long.
Yeah. She did a stint as a travel nurse up in Fargo, North Dakota.
Fargo.
Oh, wow.
Fargo.
Yeah. We did that. When was that? 23.
That was 23.
We're trying to pay off our student loans.
Yeah.
And so we're like not doing anything else, like just grinding every day, have a little baby. We're like, let's just go do something crazy. And we did. So I was an ICU nurse back then and went and worked at Sanford Health, or whatever the hospital system is called, up in Fargo for 4 months. And that actually funded this business. So
Okay.
Yeah.
So answer me this. I've got this question about travel nursing because it's real big around here as well. And I hear that the pay goes up dramatically for the travel nurses, and it probably should. If every day I hear about another person we know that's leaving nursing to become a travel nurse, and I'm just like, so why don't the hospitals? Someone's got to pay the higher wage to the travel nurse. Why don't you just? Why doesn't everyone just kind of up the nurses' wages so everyone can kind of stay put and not have to travel? Am I missing something?
Nope. Nope.
Wow.
Well, I guess the rate hasn't always been quite as inflated as it is right now. I think now we're coming around to like the normal-ish pay rate for a travel nurse.
Okay.
But during COVID, like, I don't know why. It was so weird. Like, the hospital here in Lubbock, we laid off so many nurses, or not laid them off, but like gave them extended leaves. But then when we started getting hit with more COVID patients, we were hiring out all these travel positions that was funded by the government. So I don't know how that all happened, or like where did all of the nurses go? It was so weird, but I don't know.
What was it, like 5,000 a week or more?
No, we had nurses in Lubbock, which our cost of living here is not very much at all.
Cheap.
It's pretty low. But we had nurses here from all over the country making $10,000 a week.
Oh, wow.
I am not joking. It was crazy.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
I worked with a nurse that worked 6 days a week for, I think, 8 or 9 months straight. So you can do the math on that, but it was crazy.
Wow. Yeah, that's a whole nother episode. When we start talking about the COVID era and healthcare and all that and money and all that's a whole nother episode that I'd probably lose viewers on if we dug into all that. And no one knows what to believe anymore.
Yeah.
So who knows? You'll never get to the bottom of it. But yeah, crazy time. Okay. So when does the pajama company thing become, when does that enter the picture? If that's kind of your passion and your thing on the side that you both actually generate an income elsewhere, when does that come into play?
Well, right now it's just what's the Dolly Parton song? The
9 to 5.
Not okay.
No, I mean like when in the grand scheme of things, when did it come in? Not when do you make time for it now, but like you're married, you started having kids, we talked about jobs. When did this come up as like what year and that kind of thing?
Yeah, it started right after that stint in Fargo.
Okay.
We were researching manufacturers
while we were in Fargo.
Oh, okay. Because you said that the money you were making there kind of funded the company, the start of the company.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So we started June of 2023. That's when we
just around the Pride.
Oh yeah.
Time, so it's really
and wasn't that when Roe v. Wade was overturned, or was that 2022?
It was 22.
Anyways, a huge deal that Roe v. Wade was overturned, and so that we kind of wanted to jump on that bandwagon with the pro-life stuff. Yeah, so June 2023 was when we started behind the scenes, and then we went live in November. I know that's kind of a long time frame, but that's how long it took us to get all our ducks in a row. So we went live 2023 in November, and it's been doing pretty well since then. Yeah.
So I see you guys, like when you put your stuff on social media and stuff, I see you go into like what looks like kind of like farmers markets or like open vendor shows type situations, and yeah, it looks interesting, looks good, looks like a good product and all that stuff. And who's good at the online stuff? between you two?
Neither.
Neither? It looks very, very well done when it hits the internet. It really does. But between the website and the social media, I think what makes it there looks very well.
Yeah, well, we got to shout out we have a social
our
media manager,
our social
and
media.
she does a great job. Miss Taylor, I'll let you say. I always mess up her
Oh, is
last.
that the one that does
I do too.
the pictures and stuff for you guys, the shoots, or no?
I take the pictures actually, but she does all of the everything that you see on Instagram is probably her.
Yeah.
Okay.
But anything that's on our website is
Us.
me. Yeah, us.
Yeah.
So
I need her. I need one of
she's
those.
amazing.
Yep.
She's amazing.
Well, I just look at the time. People don't realize the time. Everyone's told me, Bubba, you got to get on TikTok. Bubba, you got to do reels. Bubba, you got to do this. Well, yeah, you see how other people's looks with the way the camera moves and with captions and with different things and links and all that. And it's like, I got a full-time job. I do one episode of this a week, and it's enough just to edit and get one of these produced and put out there. Now I got to do all this social media stuff. No, like
yeah.
I need my kids to do it instead of me doing this stuff. But
Yeah, slave
There's an
labor.
idea. No.
no, it's a family business. Family business.
That's right.
They are social media consultants. I think I had my oldest daughter tell us that you have to check with us before you publish anything on social media.
That's what I say to you.
She's on my wife about like spelling and proper punctuation and stuff. And oh man, but okay, that's good. Good. Okay, one question for you guys. Why bamboo? How did you know about that? Like, that doesn't sound, when I told people about you guys and I said they're a pro-life bamboo pajama company, people think bamboo like in raw form. You're obviously talking a much more refined fiber.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about why bamboo. How does it make such a better pajama, and how you guys settled on that?
So bamboo is great for a whole host of reasons. Number one, I think the greatest thing is just how stinking soft it is. It's not, you're right. When people say bamboo, they think of like really hard bamboo shoots, the bamboo mats that people roll up.
Yep.
It's not like that at all. What they do is they beat the bamboo into a pulp, and then they extract by some chemical process. I'm not a scientist, so I don't know. They pull out all the cellulose, and then what's left is this really soft fiber that they can extrude into bamboo pajamas. And it's bamboo viscous from bamboo. There's a whole bunch of different kinds of fibers that you can get, but ours is viscous bamboo. And this stuff is really soft. It's so sustainable. It's thermoregulating, so it's kind of like Under Armour. You know how Under Armour, cold in the summer, warm in the winter.
Okay.
Really great. Hypoallergenic. So I actually struggle with eczema on my wrist, and my son struggles with eczema as well. It helps prevent the flare-ups. So it's not going to solve your eczema problems, but it just prevents it from getting worse when you wear this stuff.
It doesn't like catch, like if you move your arms around and your legs around, it won't like catch like cotton will on your eczema. So
and this is a big one for all the eco-friendly people out there. It's made from bamboo. Bamboo grows at a rate of 1 foot a day.
Yeah.
This stuff is super sustainable.
Yeah. I heard it's like the most renewable thing, and it's very versatile. People are making all kinds of stuff out of bamboo because it's so regenerative. I don't know what the word is, what I was trying to say there. Regenerative or whatever. Reproducing. It's plentiful. That's what I'm trying to say, people. It's plentiful. Yes. Okay. Also, I got you.
It's not sprayed with flame.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you can't say that. I'm just kidding. It's not sprayed with flame retardant stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. So a lot of baby clothes is sprayed with a bunch of chemicals to keep it from.
Yeah. No, I knew that.
So this stuff isn't.
Yeah.
Okay. So if people want to go check it out, where can they go? You said there's multiple places, but like give everyone every bit of information you want right here. Yeah.
The number one way is our webpage, and that would be www.knittedandknownco.com. Knittedandknownco.com.
Okay.
That's our website, and our socials. Mainly our Instagram is Knitted and Known Co. at Knitted and Known Co. And then we have a Facebook. This one might get you to a different place, but just type Knitted and Known into Facebook. That's one of the best ways to.
Okay.
And we're not the knitters.
Yeah, there's another. Surprisingly, there's another place called Knitted and Known, and they do little crochet, cute animals. That's not us.
That website was not a thing when we first started thinking about this.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it was. It's fine.
Oh, okay. And you're saying Knitted and Known, you're obviously playing off the Bible verse, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually have that pulled up.
Yeah, go ahead and read it and give the reference for it.
Yeah, so this is Psalm 139, verses 13 through 16. So it says, "For you formed my inward parts. You knitted me together in my mother's womb. I praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Wonderful are your works. My soul knows it very well. My frame was not hidden from you when I was being made in secret, intricately woven in the depths of the earth. Your eyes saw my unformed substance. In your book were written, every one of them, the days that were formed for me, when as yet there were none of them."
And that is before you bring in the science, the biology, the anything. That is where the Christian pro-life stance starts right there. That's the jump right there. Fearfully and wonderfully made, knitted in your mother's womb. Oh man, that's good stuff. Very good. Okay, so for the audience, this is going to be special. This is going to be just a one-part episode. So we're just going to cram everything in to one part, and we're kind of at the halfway point right here. All right, let's move into your segments, guys. Let's do this. You guys pick some good ones, and we're going to start right away with the Stop Complaining and Do Something segment. And this is the segment where, you know, I'd even put you guys in there because, you know, if you're in your late 20s, you know, you're pushing 30, all that good stuff. I'd lump you in with me and all of us older people. We get a bad rap at bashing the younger generation. And this is the segment where, okay, stop complaining about the younger generation. And spoiler alert, if you think about every generation has done that through time. Every generation looks at the next one and says, "Oh, you guys got it made." You know what I mean? My dad did that to me. I say that kind of garbage to my kids. You know, my grandpa said it to my dad. Everyone does it. But this is where you say, okay, no more complaining about them. If we can do something, what are we going to do? You know, instead of just complaining, how are we going to build into them? What's our message to them kind of thing? What would you say to put it like this? Every kid in America right now is in your youth group. So we're not going to sit there and complain about them. We're going to do something. What are you going to do? What are you going to say? What's your message to them?
This is kind of, when I play video games, I'll encounter people that, you know, video games brings people together across all over the world.
Yeah.
And this is the thing that I tell everyone that I meet and I'll never see again. I say, hey, I want you to know two people in order of ascending importance. Number one, or not really number two. I'll go up in importance. Number two, you got to know who Dave Ramsey is. You gotta figure out your finances. You gotta get your finances in order. That's something that wasn't really impressed upon me, and I didn't really understand the importance of a job or what college was all about or how to manage my money when I got out into the real world. And that really had a detrimental impact on me, just knowing how to structure my family, structure a lot of stuff. And so that is just super important. You got to know how to budget. You got to know how to, you know, haggle a deal on a car or whatever. You need to be financially literate. That's a huge part of it, because that will translate into a whole bunch of different things. Sure. Your job, your career, your vocation. Those are mostly the same things. Really, a whole host of things will open up for you if you just know how to take care of that.
Absolutely.
Most importantly, obviously, is you got to know who Jesus is.
That's right. JC.
Like, you got to get to know Jesus Christ on a personal level. He loves you. He cares for you. He came. He's real 500 people experienced his resurrection.
Yeah.
This is legitimate stuff. There's prophecies. He's fulfilled 300 prophecies across, or more than, across the entire Old Testament. The statistical odds that one man could do that is greater than there are atoms in the observable universe. It is mind-boggling how Jesus fulfills these prophecies. He's real. He loves you. He cares for you. He created you, and he wants to have a personal relationship with you. And that, more important than Dave Ramsey, when you apply that to every aspect of your life, it informs how you act, how you think, how you build your business, how you find a mate, everything.
Yeah.
Those are the most important things.
Wow, that's good.
That's what I say to people that don't ask for it.
When you're online gaming, that's what you say to people. Wow, I like it.
Not so much depth.
Yeah, I'll be in our room and he'll be out here playing games and I'll just hear him start on his spiel.
Do people ever like jump off when you start hitting them with that?
No. I haven't ever had anybody jump off. There was actually this one guy who he's like, man, I'm glad you said that to me because I'm going to court and I'm going to go to jail for a really long time. And I needed some encouragement. And so
that's cool.
Yeah. I haven't seen him. I haven't played with him. We actually friended each other, and so I haven't played with him since, but I think he's still in jail. So
speak the truth. Speak the truth. I like it. That's good. Allison, are you seconding that, or do you have?
I'm seconding that because I was not prepared for that.
See, I like that. What good is complaining about somebody? What would you actually do to improve it? That message is a way to improve, the younger generation, so to speak. Yeah. Ramsey, sure, he's a little rough around the edges. It's so simple. It's so simple. Like, I can totally relate to what you're saying. My wife and I, we got about 12 grand into debt when we first got married. Water treatment system, because we lived next to a farm. The water was terrible. So we bought this $8,000 system on credit and all this stuff. And we racked up about 12. And we worked the debt snowball, having never heard of Dave Ramsey. Once we got our Best Buy card, for electronics, once we got that paid off, we took that and we started paying towards this. And I said, once we're out of debt, we're done. We're done.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're going to try and always own our own vehicle. We'll never have the nicest, newest thing, but we're going to try. And it does. It helps you. So we're looking at like having our house paid off in like 13 years. And the only reason we can do that is because we have no debt and we're able to pay extra on our house. And what does he say? When you get your house paid off, you can live and give like no one else.
No one else. That's right. That's exactly.
Very simple.
Well, the reason I like, Dave Ramsey and Jesus so much, as the two things that I tell people is it really teaches you to take control of your actions. Like you are responsible for what you do.
Yeah.
You could whatever hand you're dealt, Jesus will get you out of it.
Sure.
And he will be there for you. And he will help you out. Maybe not financially, but he's going to be there for you.
He'll walk with you through it. Absolutely.
Exactly right. And so it just teaches people to not be victims.
Yeah. Good stuff. Okay. Let's move on to the getting to know you segment. This one, a lot of people like this because we can cover a lot of ground in a short amount of time, and they're going to get to know you guys a little bit better here real quickly. So we'll kind of try and make them rapid fire, but I guess they won't be. Song I hate. How do you guys answer that one? What's the song that you just can't stand?
Friday.
Rebecca Black?
Yeah. Friday.
I didn't know that.
It's annoying. Now it's going to be stuck in my head for a week.
Yeah.
So.
Well, now
I said Friday.
Now I'm going to play that song.
Yeah, now we got to know what it is. I don't know what it is. Okay.
And then I really despise Little Drummer Boy by Justin Bieber.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that one. Oh, that one's so bad.
I don't know if I've heard that one.
Do you want? I'll send
about
it
like the traditional Christmas version. You got a problem with the traditional?
It's not my favorite,
but it's definitely worse than that one.
Yeah, it's the Justin Bieber's rendition is just awful.
Okay,
really bad.
Okay, let's see here. First car, worst car. So this is either not. This is like they can be two separate cars, obviously. A lot of guests, sometimes it's the exact same car because that's just the way it goes. But
My first car was a 2004 Honda Accord,
okay.
and I loved it. I haven't had a bad car. I don't know.
Oh,
I've
you're
had three
lucky.
cars.
You're
Yeah,
lucky.
I am. I am really lucky.
No, I had a 1993 Ford Taurus. It
Okay.
was so bad. I mean, the list of things that were wrong with it were longer than the list of things that were right with it. So it was just a terrible thing. And I mentioned I had a confession related to this. So the bumpers were made out of this composite material, composite plastic.
Yeah.
It was a garbage car. My dad bought it for $900, and well, one day I was in a rush and I drove up to a gas station, and you know those gas stations how they have that little U barrier in front.
Yeah.
Well, I couldn't see them, and so I drove up to this gas station and bam, I hit that U-shaped barrier because I couldn't see it, and I get out and I was like, oh man, my dad is gonna kill me. And
Wow.
it busted out that bumper in two spots, and I was like, I gotta run in. So anyways, I got home and my dad was like, what happened to your bumper? I was like,
Hit a deer.
my ex-girlfriend kicked it.
Oh my goodness.
You've never told me that.
He's coming clean. He's coming clean on the podcast.
Yeah. So
if you're on death row, everyone knows when you're on death row, you get a final meal. Anything you want. What is it?
lobster with butter.
Really? Okay.
A mountain of it.
Mountain of butter, mountain of lobster.
Both.
Oh,
Okay.
yep.
Yeah.
Mine would be a Thanksgiving meal, like with all the sides, but instead of steak or not steak, instead of
Turkey?
instead of turkey or ham, I would do steak.
Okay. Oh, I like that. I like that. Very good. Very good. Okay. If you could meet anyone in the world now or in all of history, who would it be?
Allie-Beth Stuckey.
Oh, yeah. You said Allie Stuckey. That's right.
Yeah. Mine would be King Leonidas.
Oh, from the Spartans?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. She can attest. I watched 300 just on my phone. I'll watch like a motivational clip every once a week.
Yeah.
I love it.
The story behind the Battle of Thermopylae, it's impressive. I mean, the movie obviously is like the comic book form come to life, but
So
the
cool.
battle is, it is inspiring. It really is. It's impressive. Okay. Childhood cartoons. What'd you guys watch for childhood cartoons?
SpongeBob.
You told me you didn't watch SpongeBob.
I did, but that's like the only cartoon I can think of that I watched.
Okay.
I don't remember it, but
Yeah. I quote SpongeBob all the time and she just doesn't understand my references. But that's okay. We'll figure that out on our next marriage counseling session.
Hey, marriage counseling, it's good stuff. But beforehand, during, it's all good. Don't wait till you're in trouble to get marriage counseling.
That's true.
I've been told.
And then I would have to say Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Top cartoon ever.
Gotcha. Okay. No, I'm much more old school from that, but good choices. Good choices. Okay. Past injuries. Have you guys been injured? You got any broken bones or torn anything?
Nope,
Anything like that?
never for me.
This is how she sank her claws into me. So, in a good way. So I sprained my ankle, and I was struggling. I was like crutching around, carrying my plate in the cafeteria at LCU. And she came up to me and said, "Hey, do you want me to carry your tray for you?"
I felt bad for him.
Good girl. Look at that.
Thank you. And then I said, where are you sitting? Because I'll take it to where you're sitting. And he just points to a table by himself. I said, you're not sitting alone.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so we sat down, and there was another guy trying to get her number, and I was like, I ain't letting that happen. So I got her number.
He sprained his ankle. I thought you were going to talk about the time that you flipped the golf cart.
Oh, I was going to talk about that, but no, this is much better. I've
Yeah,
also
that is-
flipped a golf cart
On the course?
on
down a hill.
down a hill, like a huge hill.
Oh boy.
Live to tell the tale.
Yeah, I got a concussion, and I broke my buddy's ACL. So
It's also
Oh.
eye.
yeah. Oh, I also got shot in the eye. Yeah,
With what?
an
BB gun?
airsoft gun.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
Anyways,
Yeah.
lots of fun injuries.
I guess. Okay. Funny commercials. Funny commercials. This could be Super Bowl commercials. This could be anything you've ever seen your entire life. Any commercials stick out.
Oh, you couldn't think of any?
Mm-mm.
For the audience, if you notice the yawn, it's Allison's not
Sorry.
actually bored. This
No.
is you wouldn't know, but this is our first ever like 8 p.m. recording session because they wanted to record after the kids go to bed, and it was a little touch and go there in the beginning. Okay.
Yep.
This is what happens when parents say, "Hey, let's do this after the kids go to bed." Okay. It's a late night.
That's right. I think Puppy Monkey Baby from
My goodness.
Is that Doritos or I don't know, but
It made a comeback this year. I saw it.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. Of all the commercials, that one's stuck in my head.
Yeah.
Just that'll resonate throughout my dreams.
Oh,
Monkey
man.
Baby.
I'm really liking the You're Becoming Your Parents ones. I think
Oh,
it's
yes.
insurance.
Yes.
Oh man, it's
That's so
so
relatable.
good. Yeah, and my kids look at me and they're like, "Dad, that's you. That's you." I'm like, whatever. Come on. Yeah, there's a lot of good ones out there right now. Okay. In your opinion, what's the number one problem we face today?
It's got to be abortion. It's
Okay.
got to be.
I think to back up even farther, though, I think it's like convenience and comfort.
Sure.
Yeah, comfort.
And we've idolized convenience and comfort as a society.
Yeah, that comfort is our god
Yeah.
as a Western civilization.
Sure.
Yeah. And if you're told you might have a child with a disability or a hard pregnancy, it's
Right.
the end of the world. And
Yeah.
I'm the only one that's affected by that. And you can't tell me what I can and can't do. And
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's all about
It's
us.
in my life. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think it starts at convenience and comfort.
Yeah.
Being our God now. So
Yeah.
Sure.
probably that.
Which
Which will
segues
lead
into
to
abortion. So
Yeah.
choices later on down the road.
45 million kids killed in 2024 all across the world.
Mm-hmm.
That's like a 10 times Holocaust every year.
Right.
So
Yeah. People don't think about it in those terms.
Yeah.
So, okay. We're definitely going to dig into that here in just a little bit. So if people are hanging on, waiting for that stuff, we just got a couple more things to do, and then we're going to dive right into it. Maybe educate you guys a little bit, maybe make you think a little bit. Who knows? Hopefully, maybe if you're on the other side of the issue, maybe we can open your mind up a little bit and get you over to the right side. So let's see. Okay. How the Turntables segment. This is, Michael Scott used to mess up that line. So this is where I allow the guests to kind of turn the tables and they could ask me anything. And in the notes you sent me, you said you'd like to know what my worst job ever was.
Yes.
And it's kind of a toss up. I'm probably going to go with telemarketing. For a couple months during high school, I did some telemarketing. And that was the worst because some people did not want you calling them and they would yell at you. And I don't have thick skin. If I had thick skin, I would probably be a pastor right now, but I'm not. I don't have it. And I also worked for one of those laundry companies for just a little while, delivering uniforms and mats and things. And yeah, if stuff wasn't right or if people's uniforms weren't good or whatever, they would yell at you. And I'm like, I'm a grown man now. I don't need this. This is out of my control. I don't want to do this every day. So, but I kind of wanted to just I'd rather answer dream job because this has been speaking to me later as of late. Dream job, I think in my notes I had put like a professional football player or maybe, get paid to do this right now, be a professional podcaster, or possibly sit on a panel on like a talk show. I really think I could do, like, I watch The Five every day. That's the only news show I watch. 1 hour of news per day. That's it. That's all I need. And it's The Five, where they have people with different opinions. Most of them are conservative, but but one of them is a liberal Democrat, one of them's a libertarian, the other ones are conservative, but one of them I know is a Christian, and that's probably about it. And I just think I'd love to have one of those chairs and just talk about issues. That would be great. But the one that's been speaking to me lately is these influencers on social media that do nothing but positive stuff. And I'm assuming their followings are so big that they get paid to do this. So like a few of the names I put down is Jimmy Darts, MD Motivator, and Uncle John. Those are guys that I follow, and they'll give people a chance to do something kind. And if they actually do it, rather than like tell them to like, some people will just say, like, get the F out of here, you weirdo or something. And if someone actually gives them the time of day and like buys them a bag of chips because he says he's hungry, he'll give them like $500.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Just for meeting a need and being kind. The Uncle John guy, he's really good at construction. So if he sees a need in the community, like this lady, she was at a garden that was exposed, and her HOA said, you're going to get fined unless you put up a fence. So he put up the fence for her. Single mom, military vet, and he just did it.
See, the guy that like makes landscapes and fixes gates and stuff like that?
Yep, that's Uncle John. Yep.
Yes, okay. I've seen that guy. That's really cool.
Imagine that being your job, to go around doing positive things, and I'm assuming social media is paying you because of the views you're getting. Yeah, that'd be a dream job for me. So, worst job, telemarketer. Dream job, positive influencer. Okay, let's move on. This is it. This is the What Is Up segment. We are going to dig into why you guys are pro-life. Okay, and yeah, I'm sure I'll jump in at some point, but this is about you guys. So I'm just going to let you take the ball and run with it, and we'll just let the conversation go where it goes. Why does that Bible verse you mentioned earlier, why does that mean so much to you guys?
Well, we believe God created humans in his image.
Mm-hmm.
And we believe that so fundamentally that every single human that is alive, and we believe that begins at conception because that's scientifically accurate and that's all, biblically sound as well.
Sure.
That every single one of them has value according to who they are because of who God is. That's what we believe. Sure. And we believe that murder is wrong. Murder for inconvenience is wrong. And not only is it wrong, but it's a detriment to the people that do that.
Yeah.
It's, they cite that, shout your abortion. Well, you come back years later and you see all these stories of women that regret. Or have guilt or shame. And it's just, one, it's not good, or one, it's wrong, and two, it's not beneficial to these people. And so we want to lift up things that are good and true and beautiful.
Yeah.
And abortion is none of those things, but life is. Life is good. That's what God said in Genesis.
Mm-hmm.
It's beautiful because we're made in the image of God, and God is beautiful. God is the most beautiful. And it's true because God is the source of truth, and he puts that truth in our hearts and gives us life. He breathes life into us. We believe this on such a fundamental level that we're willing to start a business over it.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, I lost my job because I spoke out on this. So it is something that we believe so fundamentally that we will argue it to the ends of the earth.
Sure.
Yep.
Oh, one thing I want to add, talked about these women feeling the guilt and the shame and the despair when they come to the realization that this was my child.
Mm-hmm.
And, I didn't just have an abortion. I am the mother of a dead child that I had a part in killing.
Yeah.
And there's that guilt and that shame. We serve a God that is merciful.
Yeah.
And gracious, and provides a way to redeem people out of their guilt, out of their shame, out of the horrors of the darkness that the Prince of Lies just tells all these women. Jesus can redeem you. If you've done this, Jesus can redeem you. You can be forgiven, and
there's healing.
Life new.
Oh,
yes.
sure.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. So just wanted to throw that out there.
No, yeah, they need to hear that for sure. Definitely. So it is a battle right now. I think you can be in this battle and you can do it in a way, you used to be able to disagree and have civil discourse. And it's one of the main reasons I started the podcast is I saw this thing where if you disagreed, you were now sworn enemies. You shut the other person down. You can be violent towards the other person. I'm just like this. I don't remember it always being this way. I don't remember knowing what everyone thought politically or about issues. When I was younger, I remember people saying you kind of keep it to yourself, which I don't think is the best way either. But there's a way to be open and honest about how you feel and what your stance is on things. And if you disagree, you can explain why you feel the way you do, and I can explain the reason. And people say, you're never going to change anybody. Well, I'm sorry, but I understand where that statement comes from. But they say, yeah, you'll never change anybody politically, or they say about religion. And I'm like, well, that's not how Jesus works, or else there'd be zero Christians, none, because you're never going to persuade anyone down off that position of I want to be in charge of my own life. No one's ever going to choose to serve a God. We're going to be our own God. So no, Jesus is in the life-changing, the heart-changing business. And yeah, there's nothing wrong with having conversations with people you disagree with or that disagree with you and just explain where you're coming from. And I think the pro-life, pro-choice thing, I do see it swinging one way. I actually do. A large part because of, like Live Action and Lila Rose and the way they're just trying to educate people. So there's a lot of misconceptions. Science has come a long way. If you see what a baby looks like at 8 weeks now, like you said, okay, the abortion pill is one of the biggest travesties we have right now.
Yes.
And I've listened to a number of women who talked about going through the process. A lot of them don't do it at their house because they foresee it being this traumatic event. So they'll go to a hotel room, whether they do or don't. I'm just trying to give some context here that I've listened to. I like to listen to people with real lived experience. And these women say when they do take the first pill, and that poisons the baby and dries up the nutrients, and then they take the second pill, and that's what induces the contractions. And then they, go in the bathroom, and it's not a pretty picture, but they basically pass the baby right in the toilet, and they're expecting to see what Planned Parenthood has told them they're going to see. It's a clump of cells. It's just tissue, whatever. And it's all a lie because they see, it may fit in the palm of their hand, but they see a formed baby with limbs, with fingers, with eyes, and they don't know what to do. Some of these women said we couldn't just flush the toilet because it's a human being. Well, what do I do now? I have to take it home. What do I do? And they realize Planned Parenthood kind of deceived them.
Yeah.
So that's one thing I like to try and get people to do is just think about the facts of it. What if we can prove to them it's a baby and not just a clump of cells or just some tissue, whether we're talking 6 to 8 weeks or we're talking obviously the later term. That's why 7 weeks coffee, they take that name because at 7 weeks the baby's the size of a coffee bean, and it's getting pretty developed at that point, and heartbeat and all that stuff. But so I look at the education side of things and just, okay, where else can we go from there? Some of the basic facts that I put in our notes right here is people will then try and say, okay, well, when does life begin? I'm with you guys. I don't see how you can argue that life doesn't begin at conception or fertilization, however you people want to say it, because nothing changes at that point. Yes, the first part, okay, we're not doing a biology lesson here, but the sperm and the egg unite, okay? A lot of the pro-choicers will say, yeah, that's a zygote. That is a zygote at that point. After that flash of light, which is should make you kind of question, why is there a flash of light at the moment of fertilization?
Yep.
That's a life beginning. Okay, call it a zygote. That's fine. And then they say, okay, step 2 is implantation, when the zygote attaches to the uterus, the wall of the uterus. Okay, well, now it's moving from a zygote to a embryo. Okay. And then that embryo's organs begin to develop. And then they say after about 10 weeks, they call it the fetal stage, continues to grow, continues to develop, like we said earlier, at a rapid rate. If you really want to know how fast a baby develops, you're going to start to rule out, you're going to quickly start distancing yourselves from second and third trimester abortions really quickly, because you're going to realize if you watch a ultrasound video of an abortion at those early weeks, once that baby has nerve receptors, it actually tries to get away from what's taking place, whether we're talking a D&C abortion or a D&E abortion. It knows what's happening. It doesn't like it. It doesn't want to feel it. So you are killing an innocent human being, and that's the pro-life stance. We can't do that. And they say, well, it's the mom, though. It's all about the mom. And I say, absolutely, let's take care of the mom.
Yep.
Mom and baby. If that baby's coming out one way or another, why do we have to kill the baby first? Are you telling me in today's day and age, we can perform surgery in the womb, but we can't deliver early? We can't give a baby a shot at life. We can't ask a mom to save herself from all the grief you were talking about and all the trauma, to go ahead and just put the baby up for adoption. Maybe we need to revamp the adoption system, make it a little more affordable for people to get the right parents in those positions. But to me, it seems like there's a whole bunch of other options for us if we can just agree that ending an innocent unborn baby is actually wrong. If we can just get to that point. And a lot of people, the other big argument is, well, let's talk about the exceptions. And Allison, I think you kind of hit on that. And a lot of people don't want to talk about that, is the convenience. Okay, well, if a girl is raped, or if it's threatening the life of the mom, or, stuff like that, it's like, okay, let's put them in their own category. If we got rid of everything else, you guys realize how many lives would be saved on a yearly basis, right? We're talking about like tens of thousands of abortions that wouldn't happen if we just took care of all the ones that are just unwanted, or I'm not ready, or, I'm sorry, if you weren't ready, you shouldn't have had sex. If we're putting the exceptions over here, if we're talking about everything else, okay, so we got all these other ones that we could be preventing. Then now we can look at these hard ones. Rape is awful. I mean, it's horrible. What's the other one? Incest, horrible. It's disgusting. It's mentioned in the Bible. This is not good stuff. This is stuff we got to deal with in this life, in this world, and this is the only place we're going to deal with it. It's not going to be in eternity with the Lord. So we got to deal with it now. What's the best way to deal with that? I've listened to too many people who were products of a rape, and they're glad they're alive today. Yep. How can you tell me that it's better for them that they be killed before they're born and not just give them a chance at life? You said it, Keelyn, like our God can do amazing things through darkness.
Yes.
That is the business he is in. And I've seen it. I've listened to people. I've listened to their testimonies. I just think if we could understand that that's an innocent life, we're going to give them a shot at life. Yeah. The moms that aren't ready, like I said, we were kind of talking in the beginning about preborn and some of the resources that are available. Well, some of these young girls and some of these women who aren't sure if they're ready, they don't know about any of them. All they know is, look up abortion clinic, Planned Parenthood pops up. So that's where they go. Well, if they get a preborn clinic to pop up on their Google search, guess what? They're going to get to see an ultrasound, and they're going to quickly probably change their mind. The latest stats I saw that preborn put out is around 80% of women who go to a preborn clinic, see an ultrasound, they decide against abortion. When they know there's other assistance available, when they know there's people like you donating to these resource centers to help come alongside these moms, they choose life. I think that's such a better way to go. So if that's our argument, if we're just going to try and educate people on what it is, what the alternatives are, there's people on the exact opposite side as us trying to deceive and get these women to choose that. And I don't want to turn this all into Planned Parenthood, but just do a little bit of research, people, and you'll see, look at their founding. It was all based on eugenics. You know what I mean? It was all right. But look at them now. Since the overturning of Roe, what do they do in our strict? Iowa's pretty strict as far as our abortion laws now. what do they do in those kinds of communities? Do they start providing more prenatal care? Do they start providing other resources? They shut their doors. If they can't do abortions, they're not profitable. And it's a for-profit business. The companies that you guys support, the companies that me and my wife support, most of them are, I mean, they publish their books right on their website. So you can see where every dollar is going, where every ultrasound machine is going, all this stuff. It's right there. But there are people opposite of us that are very good at trying to keep that education and that information from getting out. You know, they'll do things like, obviously, the play on words. They call it reproductive care.
Exactly right.
Reproductive care. My wife got reproductive care with all of our kids, and I was at a lot of those appointments. That was reproductive care. The hospital visits with your OB leading up to the delivery. That's reproductive care. This stuff, you know, I read this one thing here, this PhD, this Andrea Becker, she did some studies, found some papers, all this stuff. And she found abortion provider and scholar Lisa Harris in 2008 and 2019, 2 different times, described that acknowledging abortion ends a potential life, especially once a fetus starts to resemble a small baby. It is a danger to talk. So of these things we cannot say in abortion care. They don't even want to acknowledge, you know what I mean? They kind of want to defy the science. They don't want you to see a sonogram or an ultrasound. So as hard as we try one way, there are people trying to push the other way, or they're saying it's your right, Mom. If you don't want it, that's it. We're trying to get people to understand, okay, there's 2 lives. Can we prove to you that is another life in there? If it is, if we can, then that life has rights.
Yep.
You know, we would say, because it's made in the image of God, if they have to hear that and understand that just because they think, okay, legally that baby has rights, you can't do that, I'm fine either way. But it's just like this war on information.
Yes.
We want to get to the heart of the matter, but maybe it just comes through education. And one of the cool things, and I've played it on this podcast before for different people, is the way Live Action puts these videos together. And, you know, like I said earlier, a DNC or a D&E abortion. If you say you're for abortion, I just challenge you, know exactly what that is and what that looks like. Go to Live Action's website, watch the animated video. You don't got to see any of their real stuff. Their live stuff is actually very graphic and nauseous. But watch an animated video of former abortionists who have now left the industry narrate what happens in both of those abortions. It will turn your stomach. And if you can look at that and say, I'm okay with that, then I guess, you know, that's just where we need to leave the conversation for now. I hope the Lord moves on your heart. But it's like what Bill Maher said. I think we both saw that quote on his HBO show. He goes, you know, stop screaming at the pro-lifers because, you know, abortion kind of is murder. It is a life. It is innocent, and we're ending it. And Bill said what? He goes, I'm just kind of okay with that.
Yep.
Bill.
Nuts.
Man.
Nuts.
I just can't. Bill's going to have to answer for that stance right there. We're supposed to protect them. I just, it's hard for me to understand that. I mean, but he gets it. At least he's being honest.
He's honest. Yeah.
What did I have in here in my notes? It said they did to try and prove that, okay, a baby is a life, you know. They did a study and they said 1,058 academic institutions were surveyed. 96% affirmed that life begins at fertilization. The other 4%, they must have decided to not be objective and leave their truth up to personal opinion and feeling. You've got to remove personal opinion and feeling. You can quickly get to the fact that it is a life, and then some people are going to be like Bill, that it is just he's okay with it. Or we talked about Kate Cox in our emails, you know, and that's just too bad that you think that's your best option. What if that was a misdiagnosis of trisomy 18 or 13? I can't remember what the number is exactly, but what if that was a misdiagnosis? You just killed an innocent baby that would have been perfectly fine, and even if it wasn't, the inconvenience is worth their life.
Yeah.
No, in Western culture, I guess, but no. And let's hit on this last one here too, and then I'll let you guys jump in some more. The Amber Thurman case, if you guys look that up a little bit, that was one again. The war on information. I followed this right from the jump. Allie Stuckey was reporting on this right away because I wanted to know, okay, how are these pro-life laws impacting women who need help? And they said, yep, the woman had a miscarriage or something like that, and she went into the hospital to get care because she was not feeling well, and they wouldn't give her any care, and she went septic and she passed away. And I said, well, that's not right. As the facts come out, she had started the abortion pill process. She did not, all of the baby did not leave her system. That's what caused her to go septic. All your pro-life laws, from what I have found across the United States, they stand for and protect life. If you have a stillborn, if you have a miscarriage, if you take the abortion pill and the baby isn't fully evacuated your body, there is no life there. There is no reason a woman should have been denied instant emergency care in that situation. The hospital, there would have been no repercussions. There is no life that they're taking. The life is already gone.
Yeah.
So Amber Thurman should be here today.
Mm-hmm.
And I imagine that hospital is probably going to have, a hefty lawsuit from her family. But to say it's the pro-life laws that cause that is false. It's extremely false. There's a way to take care of both mom and baby. And there's so many options I think we need to take care of or take in consideration instead of just saying it's a woman's choice.
I agree.
And to kind of piggyback off of your thought, I think that it wasn't the pro-life laws that of Georgia that caused all of that to happen, but I think it was the lack of pro-life laws in North Carolina where she received those abortion pills.
Okay. Yeah, there you go.
Caused her to,
she was too far along. She shouldn't have even.
No, she was okay to take it.
No, I know what you mean.
Safe is not a good way to say that, but you can take an abortion pill up to 10 weeks, and she was 9. So.
But you're saying because she was allowed to take that, that's
right.
what caused the problems.
Right.
It's not the pro-life laws. It's the fact that there was a lack of it there.
Mm-hmm. Well, and negligent doctors.
Sure. Yeah.
That happened at all. But what started this was the lack of pro-life laws in North Carolina.
Right.
So.
Right. And I've heard them say, okay, if we're going to overturn Roe, if we're going to force women to have these babies and all this stuff, well, in the church, us pro-lifers, we need to step up because there's going to be a whole lot more babies. And I'm like, well, I know there's plenty of people that want to adopt. And then there's the rest of us who maybe don't feel like we're called to that right now, but we're going to do what we can to supply finances for everything else. All your prenatal care, diapers, wipes, formula, the church will pitch in and step up and help take care of these lives. We should. That's kind of putting our money where our mouth is. And I think you guys are definitely doing that in a bigger way than most, for sure.
And one of the things that you mentioned that I feel strongly about, which is the reason we started this, you mentioned at the very, very beginning of what you were talking about, what the whole idea of, well, if they're not going to change their mind, why even have a debate with them? It's not so much the fact that I'm trying to change someone's mind right then.
Yeah.
What we're trying to do is 2 things. We're trying to, 1, plant a seed. We're trying to say, hey, look, this is the truth, and we want them to ruminate on that. We want them to mull it over, and we want them to think about that.
Sure.
But more than that is when we publish stuff on either our blog or our reels, we want people to see that, and we want people to know, hey, there's people that think like me.
Yeah.
There's people out there that believe this is true. It's not a weird thing to think like this. It's real. It's true. And there's other people that agree with me. And so I'm not alone. And that, if we had to use a word, that would be kind of like our propaganda. Not that propaganda is always a bad thing, but
sure.
we want this idea to go throughout the masses and be in people's minds.
Yeah.
So that way they know they're not alone.
Oh, I agree. 100%. 100%. Yep. One last little thing I had in here. is just the big one, you know, and I know people who have been, I know both men and women who have been involved in abortion. And, you know, it's just the big lie that they're told is they can leave that clinic that day and the problem's taken care of, whether it was unwanted or it was high risk or it was a diagnosis of a birth defect, whatever that situation is, you have the abortion and the problem's taken care of. You move on with your life. You talk to a lot of those women who are honest, and they say it's never the same. It's never the same. They do experience the regret. It was a lie. You don't just move on. Something happens that day that we just can't, that women can't shake off. And even the men, sometimes if they're involved, they can't shake that off. They know that they ended a life, and it's just not something you can shake off. But I love how you did mention that. Like, if they've gotten some ulterior, violent, hateful message from the Christian pro-life community, that's not right either. Guys, there is healing. I've seen it. I've talked to people who have experienced it. You can move past this, but it does take the Lord's help for sure. And it's available. If you've heard anything different, that's not the Lord we serve. That's not the business he's in. He's in the healing business for sure.
Right. I think my message would be, my final message would be to the church and the church at large. Kind of like you talked about, Bubba. We need to be putting our money where our mouth is.
Mm-hmm.
We need to be vocal. We need to start blogs. We need to start businesses. We need to give to pregnancy centers. We need to be willing to adopt. We have to do this. We cannot let comfort be our God. You know, we're saying, hey, abortion is a cause of discomfort. Well, we're not willing to go out and take care of these women or take care of these babies because we're comfortable where our lives are.
Yeah.
Jesus did not stay comfortable. He went to a cross. The disciples, after seeing the resurrection, they died too for what they believed in. They were persecuted and they died horrific deaths. We have got to not be comfortable. We've got to proclaim the gospel. We've got to do it boldly, and we have to take care of these women and these babies. And we have to be louder than the other side, and we have to love on people in the name of Jesus.
Absolutely. There you go. That's good stuff. That's the call. That's the call, guys, in the audience, whether you are on our side or you're on the other side or you're kind of indifferent, maybe you don't really have an opinion. You've heard the best pitch we can give. I would hope you would at least consider it because, there is work to be done for sure. If you are on the fence, I'm willing to have a conversation with any of you. You guys know that. You can email me, you can call me, whatever. I'm willing to talk. I ain't going to yell at you, anything like that. But I would love to just start something as simple like that. If you tell me you're pro-choice and we show you what it looks like to be pro-choice, what those procedures look like. If you're willing to sit down and watch one of those videos, let that be the start of the conversation. If that causes some uncomfortableness, then we're on the right track. That means something's stirring in your heart and man, maybe this isn't right. Maybe there's a better way. And we're all about those better ways for sure. So I don't know how much more we can say. I think that kind of sums up why we should support Knitted and Known, why we should support organizations like Preborn and Focus on the Family and their Option Ultrasound campaign or Live Action and Lila Rose. I think we should get behind them. Let's do this thing. Let's end abortion entirely in the entire country. Let's do what we can to do that for sure.
For the glory of God.
That's right. Okay. Well, Keelyn, Allison, it is almost 10 o'clock at night as of we're recording this. So it was a good choice. It was a good choice doing it after the kids went to bed. So I got to thank you guys for coming on.
Enjoyed it.
Where can people find you guys? Again, one last little plug for your business, what it is, name, all that stuff.
Our website is the best place to go, www.knittedandknownco.com. And our Instagram is @knittedandknownco.
Okay. All right. check them out there, guys. Please support them. I will be in the very near future. We'll probably be doing a little giveaway of some of their stuff, so you can check it out. Support every pro-life company that you can. That's what I ask, especially the ones that provide a product that we already have a need for. If we're already consuming it, I know a lot of people that are in the baby raising phase, so I'm going to be really disappointed if you don't go check them out. A lot of my friends are coffee drinkers. Check out 7 Weeks Coffee. Every Life Diaper Company. Okay, go check out these ones that provide a product that we already need, Man. Okay, what a great episode. A lot of fun at the beginning part, and then some really good discussion there at the end. Guys, I'm sure you encouraged our audience with your episode and everything that you shared, and with your business and the high quality product that you guys provide in a manner that honors God and his values when it comes to children and the value of life. That's super encouraging to me. But to my audience, have you guys caught yourself looking around and asking, what is up? What is up with, anything like the Kate Cox case or the Amber Thurman case we talked about, or Bill Maher pretty much saying the quiet part out loud that abortion is murder, it's killing an innocent life, and he's just okay with it. Have you thought about what is up with, why would somebody say that? I would say if there's any other options besides taking the life of an innocent developing baby, then let's get behind that as a country. 100%. Instead of giving money, tax dollars to Planned Parenthood or abortion, how about we give those same dollars to pro-life pregnancy resource centers? How about we do that? And we're not asking you guys to do anything that we're not already doing ourselves. Both of our families support pro-life efforts. They are a pro-life company, so definitely let's get behind that. And then if you need some more convincing, just listen to people who have left the abortion industry. Hey, I follow a handful of doctors that used to perform abortions that don't. I follow one former Planned Parenthood clinic director, Abby Johnson. Maybe you saw the movie Unplanned that was based around her life and her experience going from the abortion industry, rising up through Planned Parenthood, and then ultimately leaving that business behind. Go watch it. How is this stuff happening? Why are things the way they are? In any situation in life, guys, I'll tell you the answers can't be found down here. We gotta look up. It's a clever name back there, isn't it? We gotta look up. If we look to God and his word, he will truly show us what is up. I still think the Bible gives the best answers and the best explanations for why the world is the way it is, why we are the way we are. If you need more help or you want to know more, you can join me any Sunday at FBC in Dunkerton or online on our Facebook page. You can watch the live stream if you're not in the area. You can reach out to me directly, whatisuppodcast@gmail.com. I'll personally share the gospel with you so you can know for sure that God is real, that he loves you. Just like Keelyn said, he loves you and he wants a relationship with you. That's what you were created for. No matter who you are, what you've done, what you're doing, where you've been. Me and Keelyn both have pasts. We kind of admitted it on this episode. We weren't always angels, okay? He still wants a relationship with you. Trust me. But we got to choose him. That's how it works. We got to go to him, all right? That's where the hope and the joy and the peace, the best things in life that everybody wants, that's where it comes from. You can't get that on your own. Maybe for a little while, but it ain't going to last. I'll promise you. If you haven't figured it out by now, there's absolutely nothing in this earth that you can put your hope in that will satisfy you completely and permanently. Nothing. No person, no government, no president, no preacher or teacher. We got to look up. I'm telling you. So if you're listening or watching on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, be sure to follow and leave a 5-star review, maybe even leave a comment. Maybe you didn't like what we said today. Go ahead and tell us why. We'd love to talk with you. We'd love to hear from you. Then let your opinion be heard by answering our poll question. If you're watching in high definition on our YouTube channel, be sure to subscribe, like, and leave a comment there as well. I welcome feedback, comments, questions, even criticism. It's my New Year's resolution. Take criticism better. So if you want to criticize a little bit, go ahead. I'd love for that to start a conversation. Help me hit my goal this year by doubling my subscribers and followers on all platforms, on all social media, all that stuff. I want to double everything. And you're going to have to help me with that by sharing with everyone you know. That's the only way it's going to happen. So thank you so much for listening. I hope it really encouraged you. I'm sure it did. Lord willing, I'll talk to you on the next one.
Yeah. Bubba, I enjoyed that a lot. That was really enjoyable.
Yeah.